Hello, what's going on, everybody? Motown Mike here. Welcome back to Real Love Social. This is actually going to be a spin-off of our regular channel. As you know, my wife and I, Quincy, we're doing a channel together, but we're also going to have our own spin-offs where I do my own content and she does her own content. So this will be my first offering. If you go to the playlist on our YouTube channel, I have mine and she has hers. That's where you'll find this video. Check it out. And today we're going to be talking about my favorite band in the world, the mighty Metallica. So let's take a trip back in time and get into it. All the way back to 1986, where I was a 15-year-old freshman in high school. I actually showed up late to the Metallica party. Like 3 years late. So I had this friend named Victor. He lived in a different city than us. We didn't go to the same school, but we were the same age. Great guitar player Victor was. He started teaching me some songs on guitar. I think the Detroit Rock City guitar solo was one of the first things he showed me. So I'm hanging out with Victor one weekend and he says, "Hey Mike, you want to go with me? I'm going to see if my mom will take us to the mall. I want to pick up the new Metallica CD." CD, cassette, I don't remember, could have been either one. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Now at this point I had never heard of Metallica, never heard a song from Metallica, never even heard the word Metallica. I mean, we're talking about 1986, hair bands, hair metal was huge. I was listening to Motley Crue, Poison, Tesla, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, stuff like that. A little bit of Run DMC and the Beastie Boys, maybe. Nothing like Metallica. Never heard no metal, heavy stuff. Maybe a little Black Sabbath, but nothing crunchy metal like Metallica at all. So his mom takes us over to Fairlane Mall in Dearborn, Michigan, and not only does he pick up the newest Master of Puppets, but he also picks up Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. He picked up all three Metallica CDs. Because in '86, that's all they had. Keep in mind, no internet, no cell phones, none of that. Now looking back at it, I kind of think Victor was spoon-feeding me this Metallica music because I've never heard nothing that extreme. Back then it was party music. And the reason I say spoon-fed is because of the choice of songs he played on our ride home from the mall. First song he played, Fade to Black. Pretty mellow. Very melodic and hypnotic. Still had that crunchy guitars in it. Went pretty to heavy to pretty, back to heavy. I was feeling it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I like this. Now the second song my boy Victor played me was Welcome Home Sanitarium off of Master of Puppets. You would think he would have played Master, but no, like I said, I think he was spoon-feeding me these songs because it was pretty extreme music back then. I was not used to that heavy, fast, crunchy music. Now Welcome Home Sanitarium to me was very similar to Fade to Black. Clean, pretty guitars, heavy, crunchy, back to clean, pretty guitars, heavy, crunchy. I like Fade to Black better, but this was cool too. One thing I remembered that really stood out to me was the end of this song. It was like a triumphant big ending. Here's the ending I was referring to. the third and final song that Victor played for me that day, Seek and Destroy. In 1986, I heard Seek and Destroy for the first time after hearing Fade to Black, then Sanitarium, and then this. Victor was like a drug dealer, slowly getting me hooked on this thing that they called Metallica back then. Seek and Destroy was also the first song I ever learned from start to finish on guitar. I can still play it with my eyes closed. The rhythm, of course. I'm not a lead player, but I can play the rhythm from start to finish and the intro, all that shit. But cool song, man. I probably heard it 10 zillion times, but that was it. I was hooked like a motherfucker. I'm kind of glad that he hit me with the mellower Metallica songs at first, because I don't know if I would have been ready for it. I mean, if he would have hit me with Whiplash, Fight Fire with Fire, and Battery right off the get-go, I don't know, man. That was extreme for those days. I know it ain't shit now, but back then, that was extreme music. So that weekend, I left Victor's house with dubbed copies of all 3 albums: Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. And I'm telling you now, it was on like Donkey Kong. So I took these 3 Metallica bootlegs home, got with my boy Chris King, turned him on to Metallica, and for the next year, we commenced to wearing this shit the fuck out. I mean, we knew every lyric, every riff to every song on all 3 albums. We were hooked. Now, 3 albums might sound like a lot, but when you're diehard and you found something new that's kind of your own, that not a lot of people were into, it really wasn't a lot. I mean, what? I think the 3 albums was 26 songs. You got the deluxe Kill 'Em All. You got 2 bonus tracks, Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg. But at this point, we wore that shit out, and I was ready for some new Metallica, man. I wanted something more. Well, Metallica friends, ask and you shall receive. It's now 1987. I'm at the Quarter Do-It-Yourself car wash, spraying off my car. I pull up to the vacuum cleaner, go to get changed, vacuum the car out, and I hear this music coming from the car next to me. It's actually the song you're hearing right now. And I'm like, damn, that sounds like Metallica. But it can't be Metallica. I know every Metallica song. They only have 3 albums, right? So I have to go ask the dude. I walk over to him. I'm like, damn, man, what are you listening to? This shit sounds like Metallica, dude. He looks at me like I'm nuts and says, that's because it is Metallica, dude. And then he goes on to tell me that they put out an EP of 5 cover songs for $5.98 because they don't want to rip off their fans. Boy, that's changed, hasn't it? But that's to hold us over until the full album comes out. And let me tell you something. It did not matter that these songs were cover songs. We could give a fuck less about that. What we cared about was we had some new Metallica music. This is also the first time we heard the bass playing of the new guy, Jason Newsted. A Michigan boy, I may add. So I literally jump in my car, drive straight to the Southland Mall in Taylor, Michigan, and purchase the 598 EP. It might have been the 998 CD, I don't know. And trust me when I say it was a blessing that we got the 598 EP, because I shit you not, it would be a year, 1988, before the next offering from Metallica, which turned out to be The Game Changer and Justice for All.
Bass solo, take 1.
So I feel like shit that I forgot to mention. After a couple months of getting turned on to Metallica, once again I was over at Victor's house when the breaking news came across MTV that Cliff Burton Metallica's bass player, was killed in a horrible bus accident. I think it was in Sweden, somewhere in Europe, while they were on tour opening up for Ozzy. It's 1988, and Justice for All drops. I'm a junior in high school, and this album gets me in trouble and sent to the office. And so the story goes, it's 1988, I'm in English class. I had another Metallica friend named Jerry Webb who sat behind me. He brought the booklet, the CD booklet, into class with him. So I would turn around and we would talk about and read the lyrics and just talk Metallica, Metallica, Metallica. Well, Mr. Passanen, the English teacher, he was a huge dude, big like a giant. He got fed up from me turning around, not paying attention in class for both of us. He picked up his podium, slammed it on the ground, and screams, "What in Sam hell could you talk about every day? Get out of my class!" and throws me out and sends me to the office. So anyways, it was no big deal. I think I ended up getting detention or something. Maybe a letter wrote home to the parents, I don't remember, but this album here is the one that some people think that Metallica so-called started to sell out, because for this song, they said they would never make a music video, MTV was for pussies, all that kind of shit. Well, turns out they made a music video for this song. Whether you're in the side that thinks that making the video was selling out, I think it was a smart move, because the video went to #1 and it turned a lot of new people onto Metallica's music. Me, myself, I didn't care they made a music video, you kidding me? I was such a die-hard Metallica fan at the time, I wanted anything you could get from them. A new t-shirt design, a new hat, magazine, a poster, an interview, anything. So if they're gonna spit out a music video, fucking A right, I was wanting it. I was down for that. And no, I don't care about Saint Anger, Load, Reload, when they cut their hair, I didn't give a shit. Death Magnetic and all that, because this stuff right here, this is the stuff that got me through some real tough times in my life. So like I said, in my eyes, they can do no wrong. I stuck by their side. So with that, catch you on the flip. I hope you guys enjoy. Metallica's my shit. So if you've liked this video so far, please like and subscribe for part 2 of Metallica's My Favorite Band, where I'll get into Jason's missing bass on And Justice for All, the Black Album and beyond, and what Metallica song I've instructed my wife and children to play at my funeral. Thanks for watching.